Hello friends, Amy R here with Prairie Paper and Ink. As promised, I have a video using the Dimensional Stars 3D embossing folder from Simon Says Stamp. I used the coordinating stencils in my previous video, and I had this in mind first, but I had to do the glitter paste. So all the fun things. Anyway, when I'm using these embossing folders, I like to lightly mist the cardstock. It just helps it emboss better. And some of the very detailed folders, it helps to prevent the cardstock from cracking. And for my machine, which is a Spellbinders Platinum, this also works with the Platinum 6, I have the platform, I have the embossing folder with the cardstock, and then I have two metal shims. There are different sandwich options that are listed with the product depending on the machine you use. If you don't have two metal shims, which most people don't, scrap cardstock works as well. You just gotta kind of fiddle and figure out. So once it's embossed, I'm using the stencil set that coordinates with this embossing folder, and they just line up. It's hard to see on video, but the stars of each stencil line up with the embossed stars on the background. So I'm working on my little mini stencil mat again that I have. This is the Waffle Flower silicone mini stencil mat, and I just have mine stuck to a tonic magnetic mat because the magnets actually work through the mini stencil mat. I wasn't using the magnets. I was just flying by the seat of my pants, as always. And I'm doing rainbow again. I was like, just dithering with colors, everything else. And I was like, you can't go wrong with rainbow. You just can't. And it's fun. And these stencils make it easy. So with the first stencil, I used Simon's Cherry and Mandarin Positively Saturated inks. And then I used Citrine and Perfection. And then Taffy and Ocean. Now that I have the third set of the Positively Saturated inks, I have like my nice rainbow of colors. There's still going to be another set of inks coming out, but not for a while. I'm not exactly sure when they'll be released, but right now we have 45 colors, and I think the plan is 60. That's what's been like officially announced. But anyway, with all my colors that I got enough to do rainbow. Makes me happy. So with this Taffy and Ocean, FYI, when you mix Taffy and Ocean together, they make the most beautiful shade of purple. Because I wasn't paying attention. I had something, I don't know if I was watching a live video. I forget what I was doing when I was making these cards, but I dipped my blue blending brush into the Taffy ink and it created that purple star. And I went with it because I was like, that's just gorgeous. And it goes with the rainbow, so whatever. But I'm also like, ooh, I need to keep that in mind. Like, this will come in handy when I do like my ink swishing and watercoloring. Because yeah, you mix Taffy and Ocean together, it makes just all that pretty purple. I was really happy with that. So, anywho, once I was done all my ink blending, I'm going to add some splatter, of course. And again, I'm like, it took me forever to shake this up because I kept getting distracted. Like, I can't watch a lot of things while I craft. It needs to be something like Friends reruns, or just something I've seen before, or, because otherwise I get too caught up. If it's a really good show, I'm not going to be able to craft because I'll just sit there and watch the show. So I don't know what I was watching, but it kept distracting me. Anyway, I used my Zig Kirtaki Liquid Gold. I've shown this in a ton of videos. I love this stuff. You do have to shake it up because all of the actual pigment will settle to the bottom of the container. So you shake it up really, really well. And then I just dipped my little fan brush in there, had everything in my splat box, and added gold splatter to those backgrounds. I set them aside to dry, and then I'm using the Baby Words wafer dies. They're connected, so I just die cut them multiple times from white cardstock, and then the top layers were die cut from Simon's matte gold cardstock. So I'm going to layer them together with Craft Tacky Glue. So they've got the dimension, and then the top layer is fabulous gold, and then it'll just pop them up a little bit off the card front, and I can't not stack my layers. Words are meant to be. It's just one of my card rules. Anyway, after that, my splatter has dried, So I trimmed down those panels to be smaller than my card front. So I trimmed down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I also trimmed down sentiments from the new sentiment strip pack, the little one it's called. So I trimmed down the sentiments I wanted to use on the outside and inside of my cards. And speaking of the inside of my cards, I've got my card bases here, and I just took 3 of the inks and 1 of the stencils just to add a little bit of color to the inside of the cards as well. So I just used my little mini blending brushes and added those colors to the inside with the little stars so that I've just got that little extra, something going on. So after I'd done that, I also decided to ink blend on top of one of the sentiment strips. So I just used my little dot runner and adhered it temporarily to the scrap paper I was using to wipe off my brushes. Because when you pick up the color with a blending brush, that first initial swipe can sometimes be too strong and leave, streaks, or it's just too intense. So I will wipe it off on scratch paper. So that's what I was using. And that was perfect to hold that sentiment strip in place with the dot runner, blend those colors onto it just to give it a little extra something. And then the die cut sentiments, I adhered again with craft tacky glue to the card front. And I was going to pop up the welcome word with foam tape, but then decided not to, just to kind of stick it just right above the sentiment. So with this one, I just kind of slipped it under the tops of the B's there. So it's because the glue hadn't fully adhered yet, so I was able to just get everything in place, press it down, good to go. And then I'm going to adhere the other little sentiment strips to the insides of these cards, right below those little stars that I stenciled. I was going to adhere on top of them, but then decided not to because I was like, they're cute. I just want to leave them where they are. So I adhered the sentiments below that. And then off camera, I had added just Scotch foam tape to the back of my card panels. Finally used up that roll of Scotch foam tape. I have so many rolls of foam tape. It's insane. You guys see me use the Simon brand, like the Big Mama foam tape that's thinner than this. I use that on most of my cards, and I have Studio Caudia foam tape, and I have some iCraft foam tape. I don't even know. I have so much foam tape. It feels good because I'll probably never run out, at least for the next 6 months to a year. Unlike my bling that I have multiple lifetimes of. But anyway, I put the Scotch foam tape on the back of those panels, popped those onto my card bases, so I got some dimension. As always, like a broken record, you could stop here, but I'm going to add some bling. I've got my gold splatter and gold sentiment. I need one more little bit of gold, so I've got some gold confetti. So I arranged that around these sentiments just to tie it all together. Bring out a little more of the gold. I don't know, these cards, you could switch so easily to like birthday sentiments, but it can be for anything, really. Stars work for anything, like happy retirement, happy birthday, thinking of you. Honestly, like stars are one of those just generic things, in my opinions, that you can just do anything with. So whatever floats your boat. So I adhered the gold confetti with the craft tacky glue and my little Studio Caudia embellishment wand. And once those were adhered into place, these cards were complete. It's really hard to show on video the actual embossed from the folder, like how the stars are popped up a bit. It's frustrating sometimes trying to show things, how they look in real life, but they're there. So I've got the bit of dimension, I've got the color, I've got the gold splatter, all the fun things. As always, I will have a link below the video to my blog post. I will have a supply list. I'll link to all the supplies I used. I'll also link at the end of this video the previous one I did with these stencils using glitter paste on black, like completely different look and so much fun. So you can check that out if you've missed it, and any of the other info will be directly below. Thank you all so much for watching and subscribing and thumbs upping and commenting. I very much appreciate it, and I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.